the stream, and the rock. In a small village at the foot of a snow-capped mountain lived an elderly man named Akira. Although he appeared to be an ordinary man, the villagers deeply respected him for his wisdom and serenity. He had spent decades of his life studying Zen teachings at a remote monastery, and now lived in a simple wooden cabin near a stream that flowed down from the mountains. Neighbors would come to him seeking comfort and advice, as Akira possessed an inner peace that radiated in every gesture and word. One day, a young man named Hiro arrived in the village. He had heard of Akira and was determined to learn the secrets of Zen. Hiro was restless, always seeking answers, always chasing something. He had many questions about life, love, sadness, success, and failure. So, without hesitation, he went to visit Akira. When he arrived at the cabin, he found the old man sitting silently by the stream, watching the water flow over the rocks. Hiro, without greeting, began speaking quickly. "Master Akira, I have come from afar to learn from you. I have so many questions. What is life? What is the meaning of all of this? How can I find peace and happiness?" Akira, without taking his eyes off the stream, gestured for him to sit by his side. Hiro, though impatient, obeyed and sat in silence. After a few minutes, Akira finally spoke. "Look at the stream, Hiro. What do you see?" Hiro, confused, looked at the flowing water and answered, "I see water running over the rocks, moving quickly downward." Akira nodded and continued, "That stream does not stop for even a moment. The water flows constantly, not clinging to anything. The rocks do not try to stop it, and the stream does not cling to the rocks. This is life, Hiro. When we try to stop the natural flow of things, when we cling to the rocks of our past or obsess over the future, we lose our peace." Hiro listened in silence, trying to understand Akira's words. However, his mind remained restless. After a few seconds, he spoke again. "But, Master, how can I apply this to my life? How can I let go of the things that bother me?" Akira smiled patiently and stood up. Without saying a word, he began walking toward the mountain. Hiro hesitated but decided to follow him. They walked for hours in silence until they reached a point where the path split. One of the paths ascended steeply to a dark cave, while the other descended gently to a field of wildflowers. Akira stopped and pointed to the cave. "Go there, Hiro. Inside that cave, you will find a large rock blocking your way. Your task is to move it so that you can pass." Hiro looked at the cave, then at Akira, surprised. However, he decided not to question the instruction and headed toward the cave. When he entered, his eyes took a few seconds to adjust to the dim light. Just as Akira had said, there was a huge rock in the middle of the path, blocking the way. Hiro tried to push the rock but could barely move it an inch. Frustrated, he sat on the ground, panting. A few minutes later, Akira appeared at the entrance of the cave and observed the young man. "Why are you frustrated, Hiro?" "Master, this rock is impossible to move. No matter how hard I try, it won't move. Why did you ask me to do something so pointless?" Akira smiled. "The rock is not here for you to move, Hiro. It is here for you to learn to accept what you cannot change. In life, you will encounter many rocks on your path. Problems, challenges, people or situations that seem immovable. Sometimes we cannot change those things no matter how hard we try. True peace is not in moving the rock, but in learning to walk around it, accepting it as part of the journey." Hiro slowly absorbed Akira's words. He understood that he had been wasting his energy on things he could not change, on problems that had no immediate solution. He felt an unusual calmness inside him, a peace he had never experienced before. When they left the cave, Akira led him to the field of flowers. As they walked, the old man pointed to a solitary flower growing amidst the rocks. "Look at that flower, Hiro. Do you see how it blooms no matter the conditions? It does not depend on perfect soil or ideal weather. It simply blooms where it is, using what it has. This is how we should live, not waiting for everything to be perfect, but adapting to what we have, finding beauty and peace in every moment. Hiro looked at the flower, and for the first time in his life, he understood the true meaning of peace. It was not the absence of problems, but the ability to bloom in the midst of them. In time, Hiro returned to his village. He was no longer the same restless and impatient young man who had arrived at Akira's village. He had learned that life is like a stream. It flows constantly, and we must learn to flow with it without clinging to the rocks in our way.